This is Nick Spires, Tyler Wilt, and Noah Beatty, and this is the first and last episode of our podcast. Our topic for today is stress, anxiety, and depression through schools.
One of our points is that teachers are assigned to teach one topic to the students, yet the students of that school are expected to learn 8 topics at once.
And also, some of the topics that we learn in school we'll never actually use in real life, like others, doing taxes or handling our own money. We don't really know. We don't have to know what the powerhouse of the cell is. It's not that important for life when we're older.
So homework in most classes causes a lot of stress because they're assigned almost 8. And there are some classes that don't assign as much, but other classes make up for that. So it causes a lot of stress, and you won't get the recommended amount of sleep almost every night, which is 8 hours. And you normally only get like 6. I've personally pulled an all-nighter. I bet most of you have only gotten like 3 or 4 hours of sleep. So there's a lack of sleep in that front.
And there's a lot of anxiety involved with keeping good grades, which you need to get into college and to be successful later in life. And let's say there's like an A+ student who's got A's throughout his whole high school career. And when he goes into college and he starts failing classes, his anxiety is going to start going off the roof because he's never failed in his life until now.
And on top of that, there's also a bunch of social things. Humans are naturally social. They want to interact with other people, and if they're really busy doing school stuff, literally for the past 3 nights, I can honestly admit that I have probably gotten a total of maybe 10 hours of sleep. And I'm still working throughout the day. I have to go to school, I have to work, and then I have to do my homework on top of that. They rarely have enough time for their social life, their friends and family, and that can just lead to depression in the long run.
Also, if you miss one day of school, it's a huge struggle to catch up back to the current lesson because you're stuck doing makeup work. You don't have that lesson taught to you by a teacher, so you have to find out how to do it yourself. So it's going to add even more stress on top of normal school and normal homework. You have to do this all on your own for 4 classes.
And going off of what you said, Nick, there's lots of stress and depression, which leads to suicide. And suicide is the 3rd leading cause of death for 15 to 24-year-olds in Maryland, which is a really big number.
And there was a study taken, and between 2009 and 2013, 4 years, the Behavioral Health Administration reports that there were actually 336 deaths by suicide for the youth ages between 10 and 24, just in Maryland itself. That's not even nationally. That's just in this state that we're living in right now.
And in the mental health tests, like the ones that we take sometimes during school that measure how much teens have seen a problem with anxiety and depression, 96 out of 100 kids, which are students, have seen that in themselves or in their peers. So that's 96% of students see that as a huge problem, and only 4% haven't seen it at all.
The school system definitely has to find a way to teach kids better on what they need to do later in life to succeed, and they need to cut down on the student stress levels, whether that be giving them no homework or giving them less work.
And some areas or districts have already actually taken initiative to these type of things. Baltimore County has this policy where the teachers are not allowed to give out homework. So that is definitely helpful. It can give students more time to do things that make them happy, not homework. So yeah.
Thank you for listening. Have a